have to clear up some big Spider-Man 3 casting rumors. The Batman photos have everybody fired up, and DC Comics announced an exciting event for 2021. What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here with your second printing of the week's biggest issues at Comicbook.com, and I have to start with some big beef that some of y'all may have picked up on online. It's Chris Killian and myself. We have our differences, but I am drawing the line right now.
Enough!
Miles Morales, the PS5 and PS4 game, announced that Spider-Cat is coming to the game, and you know what Chris Killian decided to do? He decided to personally attack every single person who was rightfully excited for Spider-Cat. I mean, look at him! He's wearing a little Spider-Man mask. I'm calling him Spider-Meow, and he is better than you, Chris Killian, so watch it.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Speaking of Spider-Man, the biggest news of the week, without question, was news that nobody knows is 100% true yet. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield reprising their roles as Spider-Man for Marvel and Sony's Spider-Man 3 with Tom Holland. Now, a few days ago, I would have told you I don't think this is true. I think it's something that's going to happen but hasn't happened yet. Now, I do have reason to believe this is something that has happened, and those actors are going to be joining Tom Holland in a SpiderVerse story of sorts. Now, I don't think Spider-Man 3 is where we go all out on SpiderVerse. I think we build to that, and maybe it happens in Multiverse of Madness if it doesn't outright get its own Spider-Verse movie, because that's a multi-billion-dollar film, if you ask me. In any case, whenever these actors do share the screen, if they don't recreate the moment with all of the Spider-Men pointing at each other, what was the point?
Only time will tell.
Tatiana Maslany, she's playing She-Hulk, right? Well, apparently she's not. She says in a recent interview that she is not playing She-Hulk, that that's not true. But I'm just like, yes you are. Mark Ruffalo welcomed you in, and if Mark Ruffalo says it, it has to be true.
Everybody does.
Dude.
Not everybody. No.
It might be a while before we see the Avengers all assembled together again, but The Boys Season 3, which if you haven't watched The Boys Season 2, you have to, it's fantastic. Season 3 is getting to work soon, and Eric Kripke teased the title of the first episode of Season 3. It's called Payback, which means we are getting the twisted version of the Avengers in The Boys Season 3, which if that doesn't get you excited, I don't know what will. Seasons 1 and 2 had the Seven kind of being a parody of the Justice League. Now we're gonna get the parody of the Avengers, which comic fans are familiar with. This is all gonna be pretty wild and dark and exciting, and it's the closest we're ever gonna get to an Avengers versus Justice League, and it's gonna be super R-rated, so this is great news.
Holy that was diabolical!
The Batman got to work outside in London, and you love to see it because that means set photos. Not only did we get looks at the Bat bike, which honestly I would ride it, but also Selena Kyle is dressed in funeral attire, which straight up matches the look in The Long Halloween. And if you're not convinced that funeral attire being accurate to The Long Halloween means we're getting an adaptation of The Long Halloween, how about the claw marks on the face of Salvatore Maroni? This is too big of a coincidence. Matt Reeves is straight up adapting one of the best Batman comics into a movie, and everybody should be excited, even though it feels like we have to wait forever until we see it.
Forever, forever, ever, forever, ever.
More on the DC front, Black Adam had a couple of exciting casting bits come across the news desk this week. Not only is Aladdin's Jafar actor Marwan Kenzari being eyed to play Sabak, but Sarah Shahi is being eyed to play a professor who is a leader in the resistance at Kandak. And I'm thinking that's a movie version of ISIS, and they're just not going to call her ISIS because there's a real-world terror organization that goes by the same name. When Legends of Tomorrow brought a character inspired by that character from comics to TV, they called her Zari, so I'm thinking they might be doing something similar with Black Adam's wife and just renaming her. Either way, 2 new cast members added to Black Adam, which still doesn't have a release date after being removed from the schedule last week.
May he rest in peace.
DC Comics announced an exciting event coming in 2021 on their comic book lines, and it's called Future State. This is going to be a peek way into the future where we see all of our heroes as they appear way down the timeline. Some of these will be brand new characters taking up the mantles of our favorite heroes, so what that really means is we really have to open up the wallets and buy the physical copies because we all want to own the first appearance of a brand new hero in case they become wildly popular and that comic book goes up in value. Is that just me? Are you normal? Because that's absolutely what I do.
Focus on yourself, not on negative people trying to get in your life, tell you how to do things.
Let's end the second printing on some good news. Thor Love and Thunder is getting ready to start production down in Australia in January. I can confirm that. It is true. The Mandalorian Season 3 is going to start shooting before 2021 is over. Season 2 starts on October 30th. And Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is headed up to San Francisco later this month to start shooting additional photography, which has a lot of people thinking maybe there's some Ant-Man and the Wasp connections, or maybe some Agents of Atlas connections, because that's where that group is based in the comics. I don't know, something to think about. Leave your thoughts in the comments.
Tell me everything.
That's your second printing of the week's biggest issues at Comicbook.com. For more, head over to the site. Hit me up on Instagram if you want to talk more. You can find me at BrandonDavisPD. And remember, I am so much better than Chris Killian. I'm BD. I'll see you there.